Hello Man United fans. You are welcome to the home of Manchester United Daily News. Manchester United planning to let 2 forwards leave on loan. Story by Samuel Luckhurst, chief Manchester United writer. Manchester United are planning to let winger Facundo Pellistri head out on loan next season. Pellistri, 21, has made 6 substitute appearances since the new year and he has had a notable impact in almost all of them. United are reluctant to sell Pellistri less than 3 years into his Old Trafford career, and any loan move would likely determine whether he has a long-term future at the club. Pellistri joined United for £9 million from Peñarol in October 2020 and had to wait more than 2 years to make his debut against Charlton in this season's League Cup quarter-final. United have loaned Pellistri to Alaves twice and he spent the entirety of last season in La Liga but started only 6 times. Pellistri has been named in the Uruguay squad for their friendlies against Japan and South Korea this month, having started in 2 of their 3 World Cup group games in Qatar. United have also penciled in a loan move for Anthony Elanga next term amid his lack of playing time. Elanga, 20, has started 7 times under manager Erik ten Hag, and all but one of those starts came before the season was paused for the World Cup on November 13. Elanga has not scored for United in over a year, having started in 16 of Ralf Rangnick's 29 games in charge as interim manager last term. United intend to sign a striker in the summer, with Harry Kane, Ten Hag's preferred target, and Anthony Martial will be made available for transfer. Beyond the centre-forward role, United have a plethora of wingers, with Ahmad currently on loan at Sunderland in the Championship, while the club is yet to decide whether to integrate Mason Greenwood back into the squad. Rafael Varan explains how Manchester United will cope without Casemiro. Story by Richard Fay. Rafael Varan admits Casemiro will be a huge miss for Manchester United while he serves a 4-match suspension, but is confident his team has the quality to cope with his absence. Casemiro was dismissed after 34 minutes following a VAR check, having initially only been cautioned by referee Anthony Taylor for a heavy challenge on Carlos Alcaraz. VAR ordered Taylor to review the decision and go across to the pitchside monitor. Upon review, the experienced referee made the decision to show Casemiro his second red card in just his last 3 Premier League appearances. "He's a player who's very important for us," Varan told reporters after the draw with Southampton. "He brings balance to the team and to the squad. But we have a great squad and we have to find another balance without him, but we have good players in every position on the pitch and we're ready for the next games." Casemiro was also sent off during last month's 2-1 win over Crystal Palace and, as a result, was suspended for the back-to-back clashes with Leeds United in the 3-0 win over Leicester. The French defender was then asked if it was unusual for Casemiro to receive another red card in his short time at United, given how good his disciplinary record was at Real Madrid. He added, "Yes, I think he was very disappointed because nobody wants to get out of the pitch before the end, but as I said, it's part of football. It was obviously very disappointing, but we can focus on the next games, and that's it." United played an hour with only 10 men but still had chances to win the match themselves, and Varan was pleased with the fighting spirit his side showed to try and win the game. "Definitely. We knew we needed to run a little bit more, to be a bit more defensive, but we reacted as a team, as a group, and with a good mentality. We fight for each other. The crowd as well. We feel the support. I think we can be proud of the fighting spirit. Obviously disappointed by the result, but great teamwork today." Erik ten Hag gives verdict on Jadon Sancho position change at Manchester United. Story by George Smith. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag admitted that he was pleased with Jadon Sancho's contributions from the attacking midfield position during Sunday's goalless draw with Southampton at Old Trafford. Making just his second Premier League start since returning from his absence, the 22-year-old came into the side at the expense of Fred, with ten Hag opting to select a very attack-minded lineup. With Antony and Marcus Rashford occupying the wide roles, Sancho started as the number 10. That meant Bruno Fernandes dropped into a deeper role, sitting alongside Casemiro until the Brazilian was sent off during the first half. Sancho, who also drifted out wide at times, particularly to the right, offered a solid account of himself, and it was enough to impress ten Hag. "I think he did quite well as a number 10, said ten Hag. "Like he did against Barcelona and Leicester. He was really decisive against Leicester and also today with some really good actions. One time, He was really close to the goal with a run at the defending line and a cross to Bruno almost came there. He did a good job. Sancho, who joined United in July 2021, will be hoping to keep his place in Ten Hag's first-choice starting lineup, operating either as a winger or as an attacking midfielder from central areas. And Ten Hag believes the England international can influence games from the centre when United are well stocked in midfield. Asked if the former Borussia Dortmund man can become a difference maker, the United boss added, "I think he can. I think he can make the difference when we play 3 against 2 in the midfield. And that is not bad when you have Casemiro and Bruno and you have Jadon Sancho." Rafael Varan gives verdict on Manchester United youngsters Alejandro Garnacho and Facundo Pellistri. Story by Richard Fay. Rafael Varan believes Alejandro Garnacho and Facundo Pellistri have an important role to play at Manchester United for the rest of the season. Erik ten Hag turned to the young attacking duo over the weekend as his side looked to find a winner in their goalless draw with Southampton in the Premier League. Garnacho, 18, and Pellistri, 21, both impressed from the bench and looked lively whenever they got on the ball, but were unable to help their side find the breakthrough. It was another reminder of the immense talent the two youngsters possess, and Varan believes they are both capable of changing games whenever they get the chance. "I think they have great talent, you saw it today," the French defender told reporters after the Southampton match. "They can bring speed on the pitch, they can create opportunities, create danger. We need these kind of players to make the difference and change games." United's draw with Southampton was their last Premier League match until next month, with the focus on the Europa League and FA Cup before next week's international break. It has been a period of progress for Erik ten Hag's side since they returned from the World Cup, and Varan is eager to finish this chunk of the season on a high with another 2 wins this week. He added, "I think if you take apart the game against Liverpool, we were in a good moment and good results, so we have to keep the confidence. Obviously, we want a good result to keep the rhythm. I think the winning mentality is here in this group. We want to win every game, so we have to fight and be ready for Thursday." Alejandro Garnacho injury, worse than expected, as Man United youngster suffers blow. Story by Dan Marsh, sports reporter for The Mirror. Manchester United have been rocked by the news that the injury Alejandro Garnacho sustained in Sunday's stalemate with Southampton is worse than initially feared. Garnacho, 18, has made a big impression after breaking into the first-team picture under Erik ten Hag this season and even earned his first senior international call-up for Argentina last week. The talented teenager could be seen struggling after he was on the receiving end of a heavy tackle from Kyle Walker-Peters during United's drab 0-0 draw with the Saints at the weekend. And it appears as though Garnacho, who was seen leaving Old Trafford on crutches, could be set for a lengthy spell on the sidelines as a result of the incident. According to TYC Sports, Garnacho was sent for tests on the issue, and it appears as though the youngster's injury is worse than first feared. The report doesn't outline any sort of timeframe, but it does note that Garnacho is now expected to miss out on Argentina's upcoming international fixtures. Garnacho was in contention to win his first senior cap after the winger made the decision to represent Argentina over Spain. He had harbored hopes of making Lionel Scaloni's World Cup squad before the tournament kicked off in Qatar in November but failed to make the grade. Despite his failure to make the World Champions squad, Garnacho has enjoyed a breakthrough season at club level. He has clocked up 29 appearances for United in all competitions, scoring 4 goals and registering 5 assists, and established himself as a firm fans' favourite. The winger, who replaced Jadon Sancho late in the second half of Sunday's match, had only been on the pitch for a matter of minutes before he was scythed down by Walker-Peters. Given that United were already down to 10 men after Casemiro's dismissal, Ten Hag took no chances and withdrew the youngster in added-on time after he was seen struggling to shake off the after-effects of said tackle. If Garnacho's injury does lead to an extended spell on the sidelines, then the youngster's season could be brought to a premature end. There are just under 2 months of the current campaign remaining, with Manchester United still alive in both the FA Cup and the Europa League. The Red Devils ended a 6-year trophy drought with victory in the Carabao Cup final last month. Erik ten Hag abandons Man United transfer plan after Sir Alex Ferguson Golden Rule reminder. Story by Colin Miller, European football writer for The Mirror. Manchester United will not risk a long pursuit of Tottenham striker Harry Kane, with the club aware of the difficulties of negotiating with Spurs chairman Daniel Levy. Erik ten Hag had made Kane their number one transfer target this summer, with the United boss on red alert as he searches for the final piece of the jigsaw at Old Trafford, and he believed that the England international captain fitted the bill. The Spurs striker will be entering the final year of his contract after yet another campaign of disappointment with the North Londoners. Spurs will end the season trophyless, having been eliminated from both the FA Cup and Champions League within the space of a week. United are prioritising the signing of a central striker this summer. Wout Weghorst's loan deal from Burnley expires at the end of the campaign, and Anthony Martial is expected to depart Old Trafford following another injury-blighted season. That leaves Marcus Rashford as the club's only recognised senior striker, and the in-form England international prefers playing on the left side of an attack than centrally. Kane would be an ideal fit for this United side and would fill a key position in which they are currently short. However, as per The Athletic, a move for Kane is fraught with difficulty. Spurs have no intention of selling their superstar striker this summer, and indeed, will work on renewing his stay in North London. That may complicate the situation enough, but ESPN highlights how senior figures at United are aware of the difficulties of dealing with Spurs and chairman Levy, who is seen as a tough negotiator and who would be happy to prolong any transfer saga, which could disrupt United's summer plans. It is highlighted how former boss Sir Alex Ferguson and CEO David Gill vowed never to deal with them over incomings again after just clinching the signing of Dimitar Berbatov from Spurs at the 11th hour of the transfer deadline in the summer window of 2008. They stayed true to their promise, and United have not signed a player from Spurs in 15 years since, meaning that Kane may be unlikely to break that streak this summer. United also hold great admiration for Benfica striker Goncalo Ramos and Mohamed Kudus, whom Ten Hag coached at Ajax. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen is thought to be a key target this summer, but the Nigerian's price tag may prove excessive. Manchester United make decision on Casemiro red card appeal. Story by Stephen Railston, Manchester United writer. Manchester United will not appeal against Casemiro's suspension. United have decided not to make an appeal to the Premier League, and the midfielder will serve a 4-match ban in games against Fulham, Newcastle, Brentford and Everton, because it was his second red card of the season. United decided against lodging an appeal because they did not believe there was a strong enough case to be made for the decision to be overturned. Casemiro will still be available for Thursday's Europa League round of 16 second leg away to Real Betis. Erik ten Hag was asked about Casemiro's sending off after the goalless draw on Sunday, and he vented his frustration. He said, "It is inconsistent. The referees are coming at the start of the season with a policy. We are the Premier League, we want intensity, and Casemiro, across European games, over 500, he never had a red card, but now, twice. He plays tough, but he's fair, same as against Crystal Palace, so it's very debatable. When you freeze it, it looks bad. Everyone who knows something about football knows what is bad, what is fair, and Casemiro is a fair player." Fans, this is the roundup of today's news. Here, you are guaranteed to get the latest news on Manchester United. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Please, share this video to other Manchester United fans. Thank you for watching.